Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Akro Agate Company Marbles video, hailing from Akron, Ohio from 1910 and up into the 1950s. The Akro Agate Glass Company was a perennial all-star in the marble making industry, and they put out a wide array of really cool marbles. We're going to go ahead, have a little fun, and hope to cover what we can here, so enjoy. And here we have a nice spread of fantastic Akro marbles. The glass that they used was high quality, and they had some of the best glass makers available working at their factories. So here's their patch design marbles, and these were usually 2 or 3 colors, and simple but effective. As you can see, they're very pretty. These back here, collectors sometimes call robin's eggs, not to be confused with the Heaton robin's eggs. This one has a really classy color combination that is the same as the collectible Claudia marble that Akro made. These 3 back here, I believe, are same run marbles, which means that they were produced on the same day with the same batch of glass. And you can see by their colors how they are related. Here's a few tongue patches in the back. I really like these marbles. They sort of have an extra ribbon or 2 of color, and it creates what appears to be sort of like a tongue. They're nicknamed tongue patches. And in the 1920s, the Akro Agate Company designed a spinner cup type mechanism that allowed them to create a pattern on the marble that had a corkscrew design. So here are some of them, the first being the prize names, which is just really a 2-color corkscrew. And as we look around, you can see all the different color combinations they used. These yellow ones are so pleasing to the eye. They all are beautiful marbles. And here we see Vaseline marbles. These are corkscrews. And here's Akro Agate getting super creative. If these are put under blacklight conditions, as we are here now, you can see they light up and they fluoresce. In fact, these do too. These are the Ade type marbles, which we'll look at in a minute. But this is uranium oxide that makes it glow yellow. And there's some orange ones in here too. That might be calcite, I'm not sure, but it's pretty outrageous. This one here is a lazy corkscrew. It's actually Lifesaver colors, and it just came out slow on the spinning cup. And this one is one of my favorites. It's just seen so much wear and tear. It's all patinaed and crackled, but I love it. It's really cool. It's got a lot of personality. Here's one that I like a lot. It's got a translucent cobalt base that backlights, not black lights, but backlights. And just looking around, there's some nice shooters back there. And so we'll move up to the next shelf. Here we have our specials. These are 3 or more color Akro corkscrew designs. And some of these marbles are very collectible. And here we have a group of the world famous Popeyes. These marbles have a white filament glass as well as 2 other colors. These particular pieces are spirals of corkscrews, and there's also a patch version. This one has green filaments to it. There's a lot of different hybrids for the Popeyes that you can sometimes find, and they're very sought after by collectors. Here comes the Indian blankets. These are gorgeous marbles. I've only found them in 11/16 size. And to be an Indian blanket, it has to have a red ribbon surrounded by a yellow, surrounded by black. So that's a red Indian on a yellow blanket on a black horse. And here's one that is busted up, but I love it. I'm keeping it. And tucked away in that back right-hand corner, I have these really cool red, black, and white corkscrews, also 11/16. And they're neat. Here comes some Moonies. They will have an opalescent base and sort of have a fiery back glow when you look at them. Here's an Onyx spiral, and that will have a translucent base with white ribbons. And then ringers. Ringers are a lot like Popeyes, but it's one color, and you'll have a Moonie kind of base to them. And some really nice shooters back here. That blue one has some egg yolk color in it. And here are the limeades on the left, and lemonades and cherryades. This little topaz job is an auger. Augers are a spiral with a solid center core, so you really won't see through it if you look at it from pole to pole. And here's another one. They are related to the snakes, and the snakes, you will see through it from pole to pole. The ribbons are more on the outside of the marble. They go right to the edge of the marble. And here's two color snakes. And here are the fabulous Oxblood family of marbles. That Oxblood is deep, dark red that resembles dried blood, and that's how it gets its name. So there's milky Oxbloods, there's silvers, and here are some beautiful egg yolk Oxbloods and that limeade. So we're going to stop the film. There's a blue ox there. We're going to look at these up close so you can just enjoy it. They are very beautiful marbles. And so here we have, up on the front row, a couple of aces. They have a Moonie base. They look great in the light. And sometimes they're really swirly looking. Here are the world famous sparklers that Akro produced. Their colors are super bold on these, multicolored bands that go from pole to pole. They kind of resemble the old German handmade marbles. They're fantastic marbles. And I have a Master Sunburst marble here on the left. For comparison reasons, the Master Glass Company used very similar machinery, and these were built in the 1940s, but you can see how closely related they look. Let's take a closer look at these silver oxbloods because they deserve the headline. They are just extraordinary pieces. And the way the light hits them, it is breathtaking. They are probably my favorite of the Akros. Here come the Ades marbles. These are really cool. These will fluoresce as we saw them before under the UV lighting. So there's the limeade, lemonade, cherryade, and orange ades. It's interesting to realize that this was the Roaring 20s when most of these marbles were being produced. And the Akro Agate Glass Company was on the cutting edge of the marble making industry until the Peltier Company came along to rival them, and the Great Depression began. And on to the Moss Agates. Moss Agates are a basic patch marble that Akro made with a translucent base, and they came in orange, blue, red, green, and yellow with their brushed colors. And I brought a few out here on this dish for comparison reasons, so we can look at them. These are 3 moss agates up front, and there's a Peltier Acme reeler back here and a Vitro Conqueror here. So to distinguish them, you just really want to look at the seams. Often it's a straight seam, not always, but often, on a moss agate. The Peltier Acme reeler will have a different kind of a base glass and has a sort of a synthetic look to that base with some, I guess, striations in it. They're really pretty marbles, and they're a lot more harder to find. And over here is a Vitro Conqueror that just didn't get full coverage on that white brushed patch there. So just to be able to pick them apart, to help identify them, that is a little comparison. And these are the Moss Agates. I hope you enjoyed the Akro Agate video. I had fun making it and hope to do another one sometime soon. Thank you.